Hey guys, welcome to another video on the Next Rank YouTube channel with Johnny and Jack. Today we're going to be looking at two games from the Boston Major. One is from Archie POV, the Gentlemates POV who actually won the event. And the second is going to be BeastMode's POV from NRG. What we're focusing on is the distance to the ball. So right now Archie is obviously very close to the ball. He was making an aerial catch. But this game for Archie is the game where a player is farthest away from the ball on average over the course of an entire game. And then Beast Modes will be the closest to the ball over the course of an entire game, played by any player in any single game in Boston. Now, Jack, we've actually talked a lot in the past, and we've, as a scene, been quite interested in the close and far from teammates stat. Yeah. Monkey Moon in particular was very successful while always being closest to his teammates on average. But this is the ball, which does correlate sometimes pretty heavily. Yeah, is this something you think about when you're a pro, how close or how far you are from the ball?
I mean, it's a similar conversation to the one with Monkey Moon where he was always very close to the ball as well. Like you said, it does correlate. Those two kind of stats are quite similar. But yeah, I guess like slightly. It's not something that you're like, you know, ever, basing your entire playstyle off of. But I guess it kind of creeps into your mind, especially in previous years when Monkey, is winning a world championship. And then wins another world championship. You're like, is there something to being extremely close to the ball at all times? And I think, I don't know about you, but I feel like the game has changed where, I mean, look how far he's staying right now. I think it's a slight conscious thing, but it's almost like a byproduct of something else that you're doing rather than the main thing you're focusing on. I remember this. Is that just in? Yeah, that's just in.
I remember this.
That's so maybe that's why he's staying far away from the ball, because whenever he's closer, it's bad things seem to just happen out of nowhere like that. That's an insane pinch. Very unfortunate. But yeah, I would say like I said before, it's more of a byproduct. You maybe. Right. The series isn't going how you want into defensively. You're deciding to play a little bit more passively. You're sitting further back, and the byproduct of that is obviously that you're going to be further away if you're letting your teammates put a lot in front of you, which is what Archie likes to do. From what I understand, is that he enjoys being the third man. He enjoys watching his two teammates that most of the time are going to be more mechanically skilled. Not saying that Archie isn't, but Oski and Nas, this is a given. Two of the most mechanical players in the world. Letting them cut, letting them do the work on the ball, and him kind of doing the job that he's comfortable doing. He's probably most confident in himself to be that kind of solid guy, not making any mistakes, rather than all the other players on the pitch.
Yeah, I like that. And the context of this game is that they are winning 2-1. Against Made in Brazil, who had I think a pretty decent event for themselves, Made in Brazil. I didn't expect too much from them, but they gave both Gentlemates and Shopify very good series, so they nearly made it out of this group against a team who ended up winning the event. And Shopify Rebellion, I didn't mean that to sound so toxic as it did, but yeah, this is game 4. Their Gentlemates are up 2-1, so I guess this might just be a bit of a coasting sort of game for Archie, where it's like, okay, we're dominating. They won game 1 7-0 actually. Then they lost 1-0. Then they won 2-1. So he's probably thinking, all right, let's just not make any mistakes, not overextend, and we win this. And yeah, they're tied 2-2. But those are the two situations I could see this being, skewed towards. If a team are not feeling like they're synergizing very well, give each other more space. Stay away from the ball. Don't play as predictively. Play more reactively. Or if you're just playing against a team who you really think you should win against, you don't need to take any risks. You just stay spread out, and that might be what Archie's doing here. But yeah, he does do this a lot, like you said. He was the 8th farthest from the ball on average across the whole event, and all those 8 players were very close to each other. There was no standout. Just to mention some other names from top-rated teams who were in there: Kofer and LJ from Rebellion, Jorias from NIP, Rawas from Falcons, who's obviously third man as well on his team. And we've also got TSM's Kevin, Snowy from 5 Years, and Super Lucky from Power, so a couple of the emerging regions as well. But yeah, when we're looking at this playstyle, I actually recommend it for players in ranked and players who are trying to get better at 3v3, because sometimes players will try and force the issue a lot in situations like this in ranked. It's 2-2, and everybody's thinking, okay, well, we need a goal to win. And so as soon as they see really, really speculative chance, they just go completely all in for it, and the other team get the easiest counter attack of all time. So I actually recommend this style to try if you are playing solo or if you're playing with teammates in a pre-made queue. Just try spread out, try stay away from the ball, and let the game come to you. And just go when it really makes sense to go, not really like risks.
It's especially effective. Sorry to cut you off. It's especially effective when you have a teammate that you just simply think you're better than. Just letting them kind of force the ball to you, letting them kind of do the work with challenges, staying further back at all times. This isn't correlation to this game we're watching here. That's not what I'm saying. It's happened here, but in ranked, especially when
you do this in ranked, don't you?
When I have a teammate that I'm just like, you just make him your puppet.
Minion, right?
Yeah, your minion is what we call it. You make them your minion, and you basically just get them to challenge for you every single time, and you stay a little bit kind of more passive, and you end up with a lot of free balls. I think that a lot of players watching this that are typically 1v1 players and are struggling to make that transition to 3v3. A lot of you can benefit from this type of style as well, because it will allow you to get the ball with space. It'll allow you to kind of not have to understand the maybe small kind of intricacies of challenges in threes and how they differ from ones, because you're further back all the way the entire time. It'll give you positions where you're probably going to be more comfortable to receive the ball in and kind of make something work. Yeah, almost an insane door tap there coming from Raiseball. But you will see that Archie, even though he's staying further away, I mean, I'm just going to pause here. Like, this is like, he is really doing a job of whenever he's third, that's his position. He's not trying to creep up too quick. It is passive, but even if it's passive, it doesn't mean passive doesn't mean useless. It's not that he's like not doing anything in this position, because if a ball spills out, he's right there to keep it back in, right? He's right there to put it over to the wall, to let Oski challenge and unfortunately miss the ball and keep them on defense. But if he didn't, they would still have possession. That's the worst time for me to ever say what he was about to do. I mean, but he is doing a good job, and if this, the touch from Archie here is not what caused him to concede the goal. So you will see that this playstyle does work at the highest level. A good bump there, I think, coming from Sad on the backboard, by the way. Nas got absolutely slapped off the backboard, I think. Yeah. Oh, this isn't him. This is him here. Yeah, I mean, when you get bumped here, you're just absolutely gone.
I mean, Archie thought Nas would be like more in the net there, so he's just for what he thinks is a goalie, but Nas is actually the same corner, which is a mistake that you guys might be making yourselves. It's just pushing up into the same corner as your teammate in twos or threes, and then the ball goes past both of you. It's middle, it's free shot. But yeah, we can get to the BeastMode game here. Before we do, I wanted to say the other thing that Archie did I liked in this game. He didn't just go deep to make space, he was also going wide a lot, which I like. He wasn't just using the pitch, the depth of it, which he obviously did. He was staying wide quite often, and that seemed to give his teammates so much space to cut in front of him. But like Jack said, you want to let your teammates cut in front of you, challenge for you, and you can do that not only by going deep like Archie is here, but also by just staying wide when there is space on one side of the pitch. So that if you do want your teammate to challenge, then they can see that there's a space in front of you to do so. But yeah, I actually like the challenge. I think it's a good challenge.
It's a good challenge.
Well, Nas just wasn't in the position that Archie thought he was.
Yeah, he got bumped from it. It was a good, both things can be true. It's a good play from both teams, and it just ends up in a goal. Sometimes it's going to be like that. The mistake doesn't really come from the challenges. I mean, Archie, I played with Archie in FIFA E. Archie loves to, like, he will always want to cut in these positions. Most players will. It's quite a common, thing for this player to jump, force high. But sometimes, some players do it most of the time, and sometimes they'll let their backboard guy jump. Archie won't. Archie will pretty much 100% of the time always go in these positions and cut on a low boost position when he's coming back and just watching the mid pass and stuff like that. It's very easy to play with. It's very nice to play with, and I think that's definitely a testament to him on how easy he makes it for his teammates to play as well as they do. Because I think before we get into this next game, a big topic of the major, and it felt like watching it from my perspective as well. Nas in the grand final was incredible. Oski all tournament long was great. Nas in all the other series was fantastic as well. But yeah, Archie does a great job of letting them do that, and I think that's full credit to him on that part.
All right, guys, let's get into the second game for today's video. We're BeastMode POV, NRG against Carmine Corp Game 2. This is coming off a game 1 loss, if I remember correctly. Energy and KC was a great series. KC won game 1. Now we're looking at game 2. And yeah, BeastMode, a player who over the seasons has been trending more and more towards this role of being the primary on-ball player for the G2, formerly in our NRG squad. We had a look back at the stats throughout the years, and it used to be Atomic more than BeastMode. And then, sometimes it would be BeastMode. Most of the time it would be Atomic, who is closer to the ball. And now it's just fully BeastMode. He's just very clearly the guy who's on the ball all the time. And unlike Archie, who stayed wide a lot, you'll notice, especially, BeastMode going under the ball often. When his teammates are in the air or when opponents are in the air, he'll just be under it and ready to jump. That's really good when he's underneath, like, let's say, Daniel, who's got a flip reset. Or when he's underneath an opponent who's got a flip reset, because they have to use it, and he's forcing for his teammate. So, yeah, look out for that in particular. But, before we look at specifics, Jack, generally, you played against... Actually, you didn't play against BeastMode last season on LAN, did you? With,
I've not played it for ages, man.
I was going to say you played a lot, but actually you've not.
Yeah, I would have loved to play them last season, but we never matched up against them. Yeah, the last time I played against BeastMode was actually London 2024. We lost in game 5 overtime, I think. I can't remember, but yeah, it was game 5, and that's the last time we played them. It was a long time ago, but yeah, he's always been an aggressive player. He's always been very ball focused. But you are right in saying, I mean, we literally looked at the stats, guys. What a pinch, by the way. Is this going to turn into a goal? Almost. Yeah, you are right in saying that in previous tournaments, Atomic was mainly their, I wouldn't say on the ball player because that, yeah, he was always very good at staying close to the ball. Specifically, again, I'm just going to pause here real quick to show you guys, because whenever you played them, it was very obvious what their kind of style was. BeastMode always dives. I don't think that's really changed. And then whenever Atomic's on the ball, he will always be like, let's say the opponents have the ball in defense, this position. Atomic's on offense here. He's covering this type of position. He'll never really dive, but he'll do it every single time to a way where you almost have to play as if he's diving, and he just forces the ball so well to his teammates. So he doesn't really, get onto the ball much, but he's always close to it in previous times. I do think they've changed styles slightly, not too much. They're still NRG, G2, similar teams. Every team changes style over the course of their time playing together. It's actually pretty much impossible to avoid. But yeah, they have seemed to trend slightly based off stats, at least, which doesn't always tell you the full picture, but it does let you kind of infer things. They have changed styles slightly, where BeastMode is seeming to be closer to the ball pretty much in the last couple of big tournaments. Johnny, this LAN and Leon Worlds, which we all know went extremely well for them. BeastMode is mainly that guy that is closest. So we figured we'd take a look. Johnny, I think this one is quite a long game, so we'll have plenty of time to see why that seems to happen. And give some insight on how you guys can use this in ranked, what players it kind of typically favors. I mean, just off the bat, Johnny, I would say that it does favor players that kind of are more mechanically suited, and will prefer to be making the plays happen for their team rather than letting their teammates do it for them, if that makes sense, which I think everyone can understand and guess based off the play style anyway.
It works. I think it works really well, especially if you've got a teammate. Yeah, that's a good play. Super close.
How does this? How are you sure this game goes into okay? Yeah, we'll see.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. No, it doesn't. I'm lying. But yeah, I told Jack earlier it goes overtime. I'm lying. It doesn't.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say there's like 3-0 with 2 minutes left.
No, when you asked that question, I remembered. Oh no, it doesn't. So yeah, I'm just a liar. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I was gonna say I think this works really well when you've got a teammate who likes to shadow defend, like Daniel. Because if
that's true,
you look at BeastMode and Daniel's history together, they used to be a 2v2 duo before they ever played threes and a team together, and they were the best 2v2 duo in North America. Even before they were really getting really successful at least results in threes, they were already doing exceptionally well in twos, and they would just farm everybody in A, or most teams.
They weren't even teamed, were they? They weren't even teamed together.
Yeah, and people always wonder, like, I wonder, because people are always talking about will Daniel team with Farskiller, but then he was having so much success with BeastMode in twos that people started talking about maybe he needs to team with BeastMode, and he did.
Yeah.
So that works super well. I think they're just a really good stylistic combination together.
It just makes
Daniel
sense.
never challenges. If you watched his 1v1 career over the years, he always lets his... Well, he will sometimes challenge, obviously. I'm exaggerating, but he prefers to shadow defend like Roas does. You know, these guys, they like to let their opponent come towards them and then react. It's also what First Killer did for a lot of his one's careers. Maybe why First Killer Daniel are not as good of a combination as Beast Mode Daniel, because Beast Mode just goes, like Jack said at the start of this video. He will just go for the ball. He will just force for his teammates, and that's what Daniel likes to play with. He wants his teammates to go, so even if they do get outplayed, Daniel can just be ready to go for the next ball and to get a lot of free touches. So if you didn't have Daniel on this team, I don't think this would work anywhere near as well. Well, unless you had another player. If they like took Daniel out and put in Roas, yeah, that would probably work. If you took him out in First Killer, probably works as well. Another like really defensive, like reactive player. Not you know, you can't just take out you know, who's like a super aggro on ball. If you took out Daniel and put in Atto, I don't think that's working. Yeah, even though Atto is like extremely good at the game, you need to like get a Vatira react to go well with this. So yeah, if you've got a teammate who doesn't like challenging, loves shadowing, then you can make their life easier by playing like Beast Mode, just full sending every ball and sitting on. He has actually. I'm glad that he has sat under the ball a lot in this game, which we could probably. I guess we'll just watch. So we watched the last couple minutes again while we waffle a bit.
Yeah. Let's rewind it. I mean, watching BeastMode play is always a nice thing to get to do. So he's a very smooth player, and I think that is kind of relevant to the. I mean, he just wall dashed on the back of his goal, but by the way, it's like small things like that. By the way, it's, you know, it's not the biggest thing in the world, but it is the small kind of things that you might need to become good at if you want to be one of the best players in the world with this type of style. You do need to be very efficient at moving and picking up speed on low amounts of boost, right? Because a lot of the time you're going to be so focused on getting, you know, close to the ball or staying close to the ball that you're not going to have that time to pick up, you know, maybe as much boost as you would like to. So
can we watch that rotation back one more time, Jack? Actually, this shows a difference right here. Look where Beast Mode's going. He's just he did get bumped a little bit, but he's like gravitating towards the ball. Whereas I think if this is Archie and he looks back and he sees both Oski and Nas in this side of the pitch, I think he just goes back post.
Yeah, he might go here. Yeah, honestly, same with Daniel. Daniel, from what I can understand and from what I can see, it looks like he prefers to kind of rotate, back post pretty much all the time. And that is just something that defensively minded players like to do. I think that's actually why certain players that are more offensively minded, when they try to switch playstyles, not switch playstyles, but maybe like lean towards a more defensive position. Perhaps they're on a team now with two players like themselves, and one of them has to take a more backseat role. It's probably why sometimes they get caught out, because players that are just used to doing this, they will always rotate back post. Whereas players like Beast Mode that are so used to, you know, rotating ball side, like you said, their entire playing time, it gets a little messy for them at times. But yeah, like you said, he does. He does kind of seem to want to stick on the ball here. Obviously, it's easy for him to make this kind of decision as well, because Daniel is full heading back. Like, that is a very obvious, let's cut in here. But perhaps it's a different line of pathing that, like you mentioned, Johnny, maybe certain players would prefer in this position once they got bumped and they started driving here. Daniel's in this back corner boost. He obviously didn't get it, which makes the position a little different. But let's say he did, for argument's sake. Perhaps certain players, instead of Beast Mode cutting in here, they'd prefer to go behind their teammate, let this guy challenge for them. So it's just a little bit of a style difference. I think the main thing, Johnny, is that there is no like one size fits all kind of thing, right? Like, it is very dependent on what you like, and I think that's the main thing. It's legitimately just what you enjoy watching. What do you guys enjoy watching? And a lot of you will go, I enjoy watching Beast Mode. I don't know how anyone could ever enjoy anything differently. You know, watching defensively minded players, you know, it bores me, and that's fine. Whereas a lot of you watching will actually enjoy the aspect of players like Daniel, Archie. You know, Daniel over here, Archie, similar positions for us. You guys, Vatira, you guys will like that kind of playstyle a little bit more. And just listen to that side. Like, listen to what you just look at and enjoy watching, and do that, because you're going to improve at the things that you have the most fun doing, right? Simple as that. And I think that is a very important thing to kind of understand and gravitate towards, I guess.
Yeah, I think you also need to realize what your team needs, because pro play, obviously, like Jack said, not easy at that really
you have
high
to be
level.
adaptable, for sure.
Your style, but when you're just playing ranked, you could definitely switch up your style based on the squad you're playing with. Like,
Yeah,
if I'm playing with, like, you know, 2 players who are clearly better than me, I'll play more like the on-ball, ball chasing, just challenge my teammates, full send everything, no hesitation, just making sure I recover quickly, but very much being active and forcing all the time. But if I'm playing with like 2 of my lower rated friends, I'll be trying to back up everything. I'll be third man the whole time. I'll be giving my teammates so much space because I just know that they're going to go at random times, and I better just wait back and see what happens. So you should definitely try both, and try not to be you know, too egotistical. You can be a little bit egotistical, Rocket League, but don't be too egotistical. Everybody says like, oh yeah, I'm more a mechanical player. I'm not really a positional player. My mechanics are my strong point. So I'm going to go the beast mode route. Just be like full mech on the ball. Just outplay everybody. But you need to be honest with yourself and say like, listen, everybody at your rank is probably pretty close to you in mechanics. That's why you're all the same rank. So you're not just going to go and dominate everybody mechanically. It's just not realistic. You need to try to be smart, even if you're being the on-the-ball player. That's not just a license to go and, you know, be dumb, basically.
Yeah.
You have to be smart. BeastMode is still a very clever player with how he plays. And other players who are on the ball, they're not just randomly chasing. Even like the last video we made about Napo, he's also very high on this stat all the time. It's not brainless. There is strategy to it. So, yeah, try and find the balance, like Jai said, find the style that works for you and your team.
Definitely. And on the kind of flip side of that, I think it's important to highlight that a lot of players are trying to go through their rank journey, and they go, I'm not a mechanical player. I'm just going to kind of, stay back a little bit. I want to point out that doesn't give you an excuse to not work on mechanics, because I mean, in all honesty, the best third man in the world, like
just the best players really usually are third men.
Dan Ruas are always kind of the couple I go to, and they're some of the most mechanical players in the world. So it's like you have to
KC as well.
Yeah,
and the last
Vatera.
with Billy.
Exactly. So you have to make sure all aspects of your game are caught up individually, and then the playstyle and how you prefer to kind of be in terms of more offensively minded, more defensively minded. That's almost a secondary feature. You know what I mean? It's like that's how I think of the game, at least, and I think that most people would benefit from that. Whereas a lot of people, I know this video is based on playstyles, and this is the main topic. A lot of people like to think that is the main thing about the game, and then the individual skill is the kind of afterthought. I think the complete opposite. So I think just keeping that in mind, keeping that as the main focus is going to be important, and it will only make your playstyle stronger if you improve yourself as well along with it. So yeah, that's what I want to say. Johnny, do you have anything else to share for this video? Or
my last question for the viewers is, if you like this type of video, let us know. I guess it's not really a question, but let us know if you have other players that you want us to look at in this manner, or other types of archetypes of players that you want us to look at, because we do compare the extremes often. But we could maybe try and find other.
I mean, Atomic is for me, like Atomic is the player that is like in the middle of that. So if you guys want to see that kind of comparison, then let us know in the comments for sure. Yeah, because he's definitely an interesting one to watch. But yeah, like Johnny said, let us know about any other ideas you guys have. If you have enjoyed, be sure to drop a like. We do have loads of videos in the course at thenextrank.com on things related to this video that you'll always find useful. We also have a free course available. Links are in the description if you want a bit of a taster for the full course before you decide to get it. But guys, if you have enjoyed, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.